just be aware of where you are. Like, people live here. People have families.
RTV6 is working for you to ensure streets are safe as a neighborhood calls for change after a deadly crash on their block. And a young man is killed riding his bike. Then a mysterious white bicycle shows up in that spot. We look for answers in this anonymous act of kindness. Shock, shame, humiliation, and embarrassment. The women who say Indiana's Attorney General touched them inappropriately begin to testify.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino. Right now, people in one East Side neighborhood are asking RTV6 for help, saying speeding on one street has become a major safety concern. In fact, police say it played a role in an early morning fatal crash just south of 10th Street today. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum spoke with those neighbors and is holding police accountable on what they're doing to keep you safe.
This is the stretch of road where that accident happened. Neighbors tell us speeding is an ongoing issue here, and now they think something needs to be done. This is what Arlington Avenue looked like around 3 a.m. Monday. Police say someone was speeding when they hit another car, killing the person inside. People who live on this street say, unfortunately, speeding here is nothing new. They've been posting about the traffic issue in neighborhood Facebook groups for weeks.
I'm not the only mom on this street. There's several families I know with preschool-age kids, and you don't ever see them playing out in the front yard.
Neighbors tell us drivers regularly go 20 to 30 miles per hour over the speed limit and use the middle turn lane to pass other cars. They say it's created a dangerous situation, especially for kids and pedestrians.
Well, it's pretty much a daily occurrence. Yesterday, I saw somebody pass on the right where it doesn't look like there's space to do it.
People live here. People have families. We want to be able to play outside and not have to worry about people driving too fast.
IMPD says officers working the area will watch for traffic violations and speeders. They're encouraging anyone with ongoing traffic concerns in their neighborhood to continue to report it to the city. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And like Megan said, police want to know about issues like this. You can report a problem through the Indianapolis City website. We found the specific spot to report through. The link to that is in this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. And if there's a safety issue in your neighborhood and you have nowhere else to turn, connect with RTV6. You can do that by emailing workingforyou@RTV6.com or find us on Facebook and send us a message. A mystery tonight. Who was placing white bicycles across Indiana? A viewer reached out to us asking about white bikes appearing at memorials where people lost their lives. RTV6's Stephanie Wade went working for you today and explains what they signify.
19-year-old Andrew Talbot spent 10 days in the hospital fighting for his life before he died. He was hit by a car while riding his bicycle here on the west side. Family and friends say shortly after he passed, this white bicycle appeared at his memorial.
And he went to ride his bike to go and see his dad, and that's when he was hit.
Andrew was dating Holly Schmidt's daughter and lived with them for the past 2 years. Holly and her family were heartbroken when Andrew never made it to his father's house that day and instead was left for dead by a hit-and-run driver. Last week, they noticed someone placed a white bicycle at his memorial near West Morris Street and Plainfield Avenue and had no idea who did it and what it signified. They discovered it's called a ghost bike. White bikes placed for people who are killed while cycling.
None of us knew where it came from. It just appeared. And we're all very happy that it's there. And we're glad that it's there so people and the motorists can see that they have to share the road.
Coming up at 6, we are working for you and tracking down those perfect strangers responsible for placing this ghost bike and a dozen others across the state. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Stephanie, thank you for that. The women say they feel shock and shame, and now a disciplinary hearing is in motion to hear their stories as they accuse Indiana's Attorney General of inappropriate behavior. In the first day of the Indiana Supreme Court Disciplinary Commission hearing for Curtis Hill, State Representative Mara Candelaria Reardon testified saying Hill touched her inappropriately at a bar in March of 2018. She says at first when it happened, she had wanted to speak to Hill directly until she learned other people had similar accusations from that night. The hearing will continue this week, and we will have the full details on the RTV6 app. We're now going to take a look at our live radar. We've seen some showers all day long. And Kevin, what can we expect for the rest of today?
It's a big deal. This is the most rain we've had in a day since mid-August, actually late August, about the 26th. We've had a ½ inch of rain, a little more in the metro area so far today. And I say so far because we've still got some downpours here. This is racing from southwest to northeast through Mooresville, knocking on the door at Plainfield, Avon, to Speedway, Eagle Creek, up through Carmel and Noblesville. Eventually, this will slide all the way to the east. There's the larger view. This is the actual cold front that sparked the rain this morning, and now one last hurrah here creates another round of showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Not expecting severe weather. Look at the swirl with this. This is the cooler air that will come on the backside of the weather system. Temperature now 66 degrees, pretty consistent because we've all had clouds and rain through the day. Wind gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour, and those will remain very strong this evening. Rain is most likely between now and say 9 or 10 tonight. Then we dry out, but we stay windy and temperatures at 59 at 11 o'clock tonight.
The Colts came right back from their bye week with another big win yesterday, this time against the Houston Texans. And with it, the Colts are in a bit of unfamiliar territory. Brad Brown joins us now with a recap and a look ahead as well.
For the fans that were there yesterday, a fun day at Lucas Oil Stadium.
A very fun day.
Yes, enjoyed that a lot. Here's something wild to consider, though. It's been nearly 4 years since the Colts sat all alone on top of the AFC South standings. Last year, they started 1-5, had to chase that playoff spot for the rest of the season. Sunday's win over the Texans gave them good control of the South for now. So Indy goes to first place with a 4-2 record after the win, now a half game up on Houston. The Texans don't have their bye week until a couple from now, so that margin will remain an odd number for a bit. Jaguars and Titans both won yesterday, so they don't fall any further behind. Well, the big story was perhaps the Colts defense. Another bend, don't break kind of day against the Texans. Justin Houston tallied a big sack on a late drive, and Darius Leonard's interception sealed the game. So how about Sunday's quarterback performance? Well, Jacoby Brissett just went out and had career best numbers with 326 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Zach Pascal caught a pair of those scoring passes, and of course the amazing grab from Eric Ebron in the end zone. Clearly, this is now Brissett's offense, and it's starting to show its full potential.
Well, I wouldn't say I was thrust into this role at all, but you know, it's been a journey, but it's been fun. You know, the learning and the constant ways to find a way to get better. And a day like today is not makes me the man. It just makes us more balanced. And I think that's what we proved today, that we can throw the ball.
He gets going, though. He looks like the man out there for the Horseshoes. The schedule's very favorable in the coming weeks. They've got 4 straight games against teams that have records under 500, and 3 of those are at home. The winless Dolphins are in there. The Broncos are coming up next here on Sunday. Their rematch with Houston comes up in just 5 weeks. That's a Thursday night game, 1 week before Thanksgiving. Amanda, we heard from Brissett right there. The Colts talked about this being a total team effort. We'll hear from some more of them coming up on our Sports Extra Spotlight tonight on the news at 6. It's kind of the rest of these guys that could be the formula for success going forward.
I know there's a lot of happy Colts fans right now.
You bet.
All right, thanks, Brad. Well, still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6 as the nation continues to investigate illnesses. Many people say their e-cigarettes help them quit smoking tobacco. What one of those people did to try to help others in the future. But first, buying a home comes with a lot of strings, so it is frustrating when they don't pay off. Why one of the nation's biggest home warranty companies is now facing a major lawsuit, and what it means for you. Kevin.
And of course, we'll go on another radar tour. We're not done with the rain yet, but once the rain leaves, cooler temperatures stick around. We'll talk about the temperature trend and why the wind will stay strong as well.
For a free estimate,
Right now on the news at 5 on RTV6, the first federal trial on the opioid crisis was set to begin today, one state away in Ohio. But instead, 4 drug companies in 2 counties are agreeing to a massive multi-million-dollar settlement. As our Trevor Alt can explain, it could set the table for future deals in ongoing opioid cases.
Today, a federal court case with potentially massive impact on the opioid crisis was set to get underway. But this morning in court, the judge announcing he'd been alerted to a last-minute, middle-of-the-night settlement with 3 drug distributors and a drug manufacturer agreeing to pay 2 Ohio counties $260 million.
This settlement gives us hope that we'll be able to make significant impact on the issues that we face.
Those companies were being sued for their alleged role in contributing to the opioid addiction crisis. The latest data from the Department of Health and Human Services says 130 Americans died every day from opioid-related overdoses in 2017. Ohio had the second highest rate of any state in the country, more than double that national average. Monday's settlement involved Cuyahoga and Summit counties. This trial was expected to be a bellwether for more than 2,300 cases accusing drug companies of wrongdoing.
This is in a national emergency right now, and all counties, all municipalities, all villages need help right now to combat this crisis.
As part of the agreement, county officials plan to use the settlement money to directly combat the opioid epidemic, putting those funds toward treatment plans, care for kids whose parents died from overdoses, and criminal justice issues.
When people decide they need help, you need to get them help immediately, and this is going to give Summit and Cuyahoga County the opportunity to do just that.
One of the defendants in Monday's case did not reach a settlement. That's pharmacy chain Walgreens. The trial for their ongoing case could begin in a few months. Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
They sought us out. We did not contact them. They gave us very little information on Natalia, and they told us you've got 24 hours to make a decision on if you want to adopt this special needs person. You got 24 hours. We're not giving you any information. It's a closed adoption.
Prosecutors are trying to bar the couple charged with abandoning a child in Tippecanoe County of sharing any more of their story with the public. Today, the state asked a judge to place a gag order on Michael and Christine Barnett. Prosecutors also want to limit information on the case being shared with the news. The Barnetts are accused of abandoning their adopted daughter in an apartment in Lafayette. The couple claims the girl is actually an adult from Ukraine and that they were the victims of an adoption scam. A judge is scheduled to hold a hearing on the gag order request Wednesday. A new lawsuit accuses a popular home warranty company of refusing to fix air conditioners and appliances, even though homeowners paid their annual fee. While the warranty company is not commenting, consumer reporter John Matarese says one state attorney general has plenty to say about them.
Many home buyers purchase a home warranty to protect themselves against expensive repairs and give them some peace of mind. But one state attorney general is now suing one of the biggest home warranty companies in the country, accusing them of fraud. It was just over a year ago when Corey Kessel showed me his broken central air unit.
The AC line was hot. There was no condensation or moisture on it.
Corey and his wife Christy thought their $400 warranty from Choice Home Warranty would take care of it, with their promise of, if we can't fix it, we'll replace it. So they were stunned when the company denied their claim.
She said it was too old and that they would not replace it.
Said that it was due to homeowner neglect.
I get this complaint a lot about home warranties. People buy them because their appliances are getting old. But then you find out when you try to use it that your appliances were too old to be covered. Choice Home Warranty has more than 2,000 complaints the last 12 months in its Better Business Bureau file. Customers complain the company constantly denies claims, leaving them with no answers and no AC. Now, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich has filed suit against the company, alleging they collected millions of dollars from consumers, promising to keep repair costs low for refrigerator and AC issues. The reality, the AG says, is their contracts actually excluded those items in some cases. Families like Corey and Christy may finally get some answers about a warranty company they say left them high and dry.
I took out the home warranty for a purpose, that if something did go wrong, that it could be covered.
Home warranties can be a good thing, but before you pay any money, check their rating at the Better Business Bureau and look at their complaints. That way you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese for RTV6.
Thank you, John. Starting today, you can have a say in the plans to construct the final phase of I-69 between Martinsville and Indianapolis. Today, Tuesday, and Thursday, INDOT is holding meetings about design refinements in the construction schedule for I-69. INDOT wants you to provide feedback on design elements for the interstate. Tonight, INDOT is holding an I-69 meeting at Martinsville High School. Tomorrow night, it will be at Center Grove High School. And Thursday, it's at Perry Meridian High School. The 3 meetings all begin at 5:30 and go until 7:30 p.m. More than 2,000 pieces of limestone, 3 structural arches over a century-old and heavily traveled bridge deck. It took a lot of work to get the Central Avenue Bridge fixed, and as you may have seen, it was closed for a while. But now you'll get the chance to hear more about exactly what went into disassembling and reassembling this 118-year-old structure. Engineers and planners involved in the renovation of Central Avenue over Fall Creek will give a talk about the project at Indiana Landmark Center. That is coming up November 14th at 6 p.m. again at Indiana Landmarks.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
It looks great.
And if you stand on that bridge now and look at Fall Creek, you're seeing the water move a little more swiftly.
Yes, we are seeing a lot go through right now.
We haven't had much rain, obviously, in a couple of months.
This is much needed.
Yeah, so we've got more on the way, but a thin band. I'll show you. Love this view. This is tower cam view from the Motor Speedway, from the pagoda, looking across the second turn, and you can see the rain-soaked speedway and downtown in the background. Another wave of rain is moving through. The big picture, strong low pressure sits up in Minneapolis, St. Paul. The pressure difference between this area of low pressure, which will be departing to the north and east, and high pressure moving in, will create the windy conditions, not just tonight and tomorrow, but through Wednesday. Let's talk about the rainfall that's been beneficial. And again, this is a growing number. It's changing. The rain is still falling, but 0.6 of an inch in Indy, closing in on an inch of rain for Shelbyville, over 3/4 of an inch Terre Haute and Bloomington. This exceeds, in some cases, the combined total from September and so far this month. Here's what I mean by this very thin line of showers. No lightning showing up with this yet. We'll zoom in. Northern portion then of Monroe County, north of Bloomington, right along 69 toward Martinsville. We were just talking about that new leg of 69 from Martinsville to Indy. You follow that right into the metro area. Heavy rainfall won't last that long. Just east of Speedway now toward Meridian Hills, up to 465 and 65 at Carmel, and over Morse Reservoir, Noblesville, and Fishers. Carmel as well next. Notice the trend. Rain chances diminishing quickly this evening after that line goes through. The eastern portion of the state will take a little longer. Temperatures, they're solidly in the 60s. They won't change too quickly because of the cloud cover. Sadie, you're going to have to wait. Go ahead and just sit there on the ottoman and relax.
Sadie looks patient.
Yeah, not a great time for a walk this evening. Bob Stewart sends in the photo, and you can too, to kevin.gregory@WRTV.com. Happy to take your pet for a walk. Showers are most likely before 9 p.m. The wind is going to stay strong all evening. We will have some gusts over 30 miles per hour, and it becomes a cooler wind as well. You'll wake up with dry conditions, temperatures in the 40s in the morning. Afternoon, high temperature stays in the 50s. If we see some clear sky early in the morning, the cooler air will help create more in the way of cloud cover. It'll fill right back in. We'll call it mostly cloudy through the day. Wednesday, 62. Thursday, a little warmer, 63 degrees. Back in the 50s as we move toward the weekend. And aside from the rain we have now, the next best chance, and it's a low chance of rain, Thursday and Friday.
A cooler week ahead, though.
It is, and hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Certainly the weather was good.
The weather was perfect, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you, Kevin. Well, it once led to women dying in childbirth. Now researchers may be able to pinpoint this health condition with the tap of a smartphone. How science is trying to catch up with Mother Nature. Next. And we are bringing you a live look outside in Greencastle at DePaul University. We can see those cloudy skies, and we're going to have more on the forecast. You're watching the news at 5 on RTV6.
GMCBuick.com.
Hello and a very good day to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV Live, and we're bringing you live coverage of a murder trial happening in the state of Wisconsin. It includes facts about very odd sexual practices, complicated love stories, and ultimately death. A woman named Ezra McCandless is accused of stabbing one of her 3 lovers to death. She says it was in self-defense, but the state says it was cold-blooded murder. Alex Woodworth was stabbed 16 times. His death a brutal one. Prosecutors are continuing to build their case in chronological order, poking holes in the story that McCandless told police the night of the killing. The morning began with the emergency room doctor who saw McCandless the night that she says she was assaulted. And we've been hearing from investigators who covered different parts of the investigation, including sheriff's deputies who searched the victim's apartment and from detectives who interviewed McCandless. We'll continue bringing you live coverage from inside of the courtroom throughout the day. And as always, you can count on Court TV for gavel-to-gavel coverage. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Julie. And you can learn more about other cases around the nation right now at courttv.com. New today, if researchers at Purdue University are successful, pregnant women could soon detect a deadly risk by simply using their smartphone. Preeclampsia results in premature birth and can lead to kidney damage or even death in a mother after giving birth. It used to be a much more common way for women to die in childbirth, but scientists at Purdue are developing technology that would help a patient access her risk using a smartphone and a blood pressure cuff. Researchers say the technology could help a lot in rural and underdeveloped settings. And tonight at 6, every day that we wake up, anything can happen. A woman going through tough times, but everything changed when she laid her eyes on a flyer, her new beginning. But first on the Now Indy, another educational opportunity popping up in Indiana to give you the edge you need for the future. The latest focus for Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology next at 5:30. You're watching RTV6. And we're going to leave you with this live look outside, and we have your forecast coming up with Kevin ahead on the Now Indy. We'll see you soon.